I'm sorry, maybe it's just me, but I feel like I have a voice. I have my own thoughts, my own fears, my own concerns, and I don't believe in those who say they speak on my behalf. I don't believe in those that say they represent me. They represent us. They represent our fears, our concerns, that they fight for us. You know what? I could fight for myself, and I think that all the people out there have a right to take a stand on their own and not have to rely on others to do the fighting for them. We have a voice, and I refuse to accept silence as an acceptable solution. Does that make me wrong? Does that make me unpopular? Well, I'll tell you this, I really don't care. Do you really think I do this to be popular? Do you really think I do this to get a reaction? Do you really think that I do this because I want to be loved by everybody because I'm getting something out of this? No, I do this because I feel better saying and speaking my mind, saying what's in my heart, saying what's in my soul, putting out my own thoughts. This is not left versus right, right's better than left, left's better than right. This is common sense. And if that makes me unpopular, I'll tell you this, I really don't care, because I am not about being politically correct. And if you are about being politically correct, then maybe this isn't a podcast for you. This isn't a radio show for you. This isn't where you belong. But if you're somebody with common sense and sees through the lies and the smoke screens and the diversions and feels like they want to be heard and be a part of something more, then this is where you belong. This is where you are welcome with open arms to be a part of it. Yes, people, this is where I say things that need to be said without fear, without concern, and I don't care how others view them. I don't care how the critics feel or think or dissect my words. I'm speaking my mind because I'm an American citizen, and I have the right to free speech, and I'm going to utilize that right, and I'm going to execute that right as loud as I possibly can and as many times as I possibly can, because I'm a citizen of the greatest country in the world, and I believe that all of you have been lied to, misrepresented, and screwed over just like I have. So ladies and gentlemen, this is for you, this is for me, and this is for those out there that care about reclaiming the sovereignty of this great nation. This is for all of you who are ready to do more than just sit idly by and accept what we're force-fed, accept the lies, accept what we're told to be the norm. No. We will decide what's right for us. We will decide what's best for us. We will decide because we are the people and we have a voice. That's just my opinion. This is Voice of the People USA Radio. I am Daniel Smariglio, the president and founder of Voice of the People USA and Voice of the People USA Radio. This is my little daily podcast. These are my thoughts, these are my rants, and I assure you, they're not for the faint of heart. I will be explicit, I will be blunt, but that's just how I am. That's just how I roll, and that's what I do. With that, time to cut the crap and get to the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Voice of the People USA, Voice of the People USA Radio, and we are coming to you live on Spreaker. Time to cue the intro because I love it, it inspires me, and I hope it inspires you. Here we go. I'll tell you, I think our president sucks. I think Barack Obama is probably the worst thing this country has ever produced in regards to a commander-in-chief. I think the liberals suck. I think the Republicans suck. I think all of our elected officials are hypocritical, conniving, money laundering, scumbag parasites. I've said this before, and I'll say it again and again and again and again. I think they are trash. I think they are bottom feeders. I think they are criminals because they use and abuse the electorate. They use and abuse the very people who employ them to do a job. Needless to say, our parties have failed us. Our checks and balance system has failed us. Politics as a whole has failed us. I'm rather mundane tonight, at least starting off, because these are things and these are truths that I know to be true. The words that I'm speaking are not just my opinion. No. In reality, they're fact. Whether you choose to accept that reality or run from that reality is on you. I know this to be true. I don't need another day, another scandal, another issue, another crime committed against we the people, another defecation on top of our Constitution to prove these things to me, because I know it to be true. Do you? I know a lot of you do. I know a lot of you see it for what it is. It's sad, really. It's sad that we have been backed into this corner, that we have been lied to for so long, that we no longer accept the best person for the job, that we're reduced to literally, and I hate to quote this or use this phrase because it's used so many times and it has been used so many times, but we are forced to pick the least of the worst. And that to me is sickening. That to me is a clear sign to everyone and anyone that we now have our rally cry. And whether you hear that call and heed that call is on you. But ladies and gentlemen, our Constitution says that we the people have the right to take back our country. I ask all of you, are you willing to do that? Are you ready to do that? Do you believe that the moment in time has come for us to drain the swamp, so to speak, to get rid of all of those who get rich off of their lies and their abuses? Do you feel that way? Do you think like I think? Your own opinions? Do you share mine? What is it? What does it take to motivate you? Does it take some new group to pop up and tell everybody what to do? Does it take a rant on a television show, a news show, a rant on Facebook, a Facebook group, an email, another social network dedicated to Patriots United to Save America? Or does it take all of us together collectively accepting the fact that we no longer have a choice, that we the people no longer have any other option other than doing what we must do to bring together the electorate, to bring together this republic, to bring together the people of this nation to rally, to fight for one common cause, one common goal, and that is to reclaim what is left of this country, reclaim and restore and protect the sovereignty of these United States of America. I think that the people that I speak to on these podcasts that listen to this show, they know this already. I beat a dead horse, so to speak, every time I say it. But yet I feel like it continuously needs to be said. It needs to be hammered into your heads that we control ourselves. Nobody else can hold us down, can hold us back, can silence us. We, the people, have the power. Do you not realize that? Do you not see that we don't have to be led by our hands and shown the way to activism, to be shown how to rally, how to protest, how to enact and enforce change? Real change, not that liberal hippie Obama crap. Do we really need another person, another group, another entity, another party to simply come in and take over and try to put their trademark, if you will, on the outrage and the anger of the American people? Or are we the people capable and ready enough to stand on our own, to rise above that, and to do what needs to be done, to organize like never before, to find a way to make the necessary changes as guaranteed to us in our Constitution? Ladies and gentlemen, it's not even a question any longer. It's not a choice. No. We are backed into a corner yet again, and it is up to us to act. It is up to us to take a stand. It is up to us to do more. Are you ready? Are you willing? Are you capable? I believe you are. You need to believe in yourselves. You need to believe it. You need to feel it. You need to breathe the power, the force, the bravery, the willingness, the readiness. You need to be ready to stand up for this country, for yourselves, for your families, for your children, for your wives, for your husbands, for your grandparents, your parents. You need to be ready to stand up to the powers that be that try their damnedest to hold us back. Are you? Now that we don't have 19,000 Tea Party rallies happening every week for 9,000 different topics, now that we don't have these other groups, these email campaigns, etc., telling us what we can do and what we can say and how we can do it and what we should say and what signs we should hold and where we should organize and who we should call, everything else, we don't have that. You see, that's not around as much as it was. It's not cool anymore. It's not accepted anymore. It's not exciting enough. It's not big enough, obviously. We have tenfold the reason to rally, to protest, to fight, to be pissed, to be angry than we've ever had before. Yet we see less activism. We see less outrage. We hear less voices venting, speaking up, standing up, and fighting for this that we love. Why? Why is that? For everyone who believed at one point that this was the way, that doing this will save us, that doing this will make that change, that doing this will get this person not reelected, that'll get this person out of office, that we can somehow control this if we focus our attention and our energy collectively on this one person, this one issue, that we could somehow enforce change. And even when there were successes, what was done? One thing changed, 50 other things happened that everybody else ignored and failed to pay attention to. Why? Why? I spoke about it the last time. I'm back on it again. Diversions, smokescreens, lies, everything and anything to hold us at bay, because if we the people had our energy and our power harnessed together, collectively working as a unit, working individually, yet as a whole, for one common purpose, one common goal, to save this country. They, the bastards that wiretap your phones, that listen in, that want to ruin your very thought and idea and ideal of freedom. I'm going to take that away, that they would not be able to stop us, that they would not be able to hold us back, that they would have to give in to the will of the people, that they would have to and have no other choice but to succumb to what we, their bosses, are calling for, what we demand. It's common sense, everyone. It's blunt truth. It's factual. No longer can we or should we live in denial and believe that we are making an impact if we focus on just one secular issue when there are so many to focus on. We can't accept and embrace one issue and run from the others. It's about accountability. We cannot be afraid to say the things that need to be said and not run away from them after we have said them. We have to be willing to subject ourselves to ridicule and condemnation. We have to be willing to subject ourselves to whatever may come from it, as long as we know and we rest easy at night knowing that we are fighting for what we believe and what we feel in our hearts and our souls and our minds, what we believe to the very core, that our freedoms are essential, that our freedoms are undeniable. No longer should we, or can we afford to be silent about the things that are unpopular, about the things that are happening that we can't give all our attention to because, well, they'll just label us and shut us down. No, folks. We have to put our energy and our might and our will and our strength behind everything and anything affecting us as a whole, because it is our only chance, our only hope to save the very fiber of freedom, the very fiber of our nation. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not screaming as much as I usually am. I know I do that often. Rather, I just wanted to speak to you. I just wanted to just put this out there because, again, some will say these are just my opinions. Hell, it's the title, right? The title of these episodes. Yeah, this is one man speaking. But I know, love me, hate me, no opinion, I know that I don't care. I know that I am speaking my mind and speaking from the heart. I have no little cue cards, no little pre-written things, no nothing. I'm speaking to you, just one man talking into a headset, staring at a computer screen, speaking to the invisible people. Because all of you out there continue to listen, which gives me the hope, which makes me believe that there's more of you out there like me, and I know it. I know it. I've seen it. I've felt it. I felt the power that the people can have together as one. I know at the end of the day that when I say what I believe needs to be said, When I call something for what it is, I know that I am doing justice to myself. I am doing justice to my thoughts, to my belief structure, if you will. I've said a lot of things these past 6+ years now of being involved in activism and protest rallies, whatever you want to call it, whatever. Some will call it a movement, some will call it this, some will call it that. Yay, put titles on it. I don't care. You can title me, label me, whatever you want to do. I don't care. All I know is this. I have always fought for what I believe to be true, what I believe to be right, fair, and just. And it is not always popular. It is not always politically correct. It is not always the things that you want to hear. But sometimes it's the things that you have to hear, the issues you have to face, the things that you'd rather run from that hit you in the face like a brick wall. They just slap you. You have to embrace it. You have to feel the power of everything that we face as a people. So therefore, I rest easy, knowing that I'll never have a life where you can't Google my name and read 9 million hit pieces and about 30 stories saying about the wonderful things that we together have accomplished. No. I've sacrificed that willingly because I'm fine with that. Because I know at the end of the day that giving the people the right to stand up and to be heard and to scare the living hell out of those people that reside in elected offices, that reside in the White House, that reside in state houses, government mansions, if you will, whatever you want, governor mansions, sorry. We put the fear of God into them. Why? Because when the people come together, they don't know how to control us. They don't know how to silence us because we're too strong. There's too many, and we surround them. We overrun them, not with force, with peaceful protest, as is our God-given right as American citizens. I've seen the beauty and the power of people from all across the country gathering at one point, one place, one time. See, I've always believed in calling for rallies in states and, capitals and various cities, and we bring events to you. Why? Because I'm going to give a news flash to some people. Not everybody could hop on a bus to DC 37,000 times a year in the middle of the week because people work. People can't afford it. People have lives. And some things prevent us from doing everything that we'd like to do. So we do something. We do what we can do. The best that we can do it. This time around, will it grow into something more? Will it grow into a DC rally? Will it grow into a march? Will it grow into this? Will it grow into that? Time will tell. I don't know. Am I preaching a formula that has failed me once before and I'm destined to get burned by it again? Maybe so. But you know what? I'm cool with knowing that I'm doing my part and doing what I can. I'll live with that. I go broke again, holding rallies, holding protests, holding press conferences, whatever. It's worth it because we send a message as one. That to me is our core responsibility. We owe it to all of those who fight, all of those who have sacrificed limb, sacrificed life to protect, defend, and uphold these freedoms which we love, which we use freely every single day of our collective lives. We use them because we have them, because it's our right. But don't you think when our country is under attack from within and from without, that it is our duty as citizens to protect it, to defend it, and to honor all those who do and who have fought for us? They've sacrificed for us, for our freedom. The least we could do is stand up and say, take your bill, take your spying, take all the illegal crap that you shove down our throats every single second of every single day, to shove it straight up your asses, because we're not going to stand for it. And whether a bill gets passed, whether a law gets passed, no matter what happens, the things that we don't agree with, if they come to pass, as is the case many times, unfortunately, we know at the end that we could rest easy knowing that we have done our part, and we will continue to be vigilant. We will continue to be ready. We will continue to mobilize and unite and stand up for and stand up against. It is our right. It is our mission. It is the very least that we can do. Freedom doesn't come free. We've seen that. We know that. Many of us have fought for that. But I assure you, our Bill of Rights, I've said this, and I'll remind you of it, doesn't have a price tag attached to it. It doesn't take much for us to get people together and to be loud, be proud, and be confident that we are speaking out against the atrocities taking place against us. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand where I'm going with this? Do you understand why I'm talking to you in this tone? In a little over a minute, I'm going to be taking a break. When I come back, I'm going to flip into another mode, because it's what I do. But I wanted to start off just with saying that, just with putting that out there, a thought to plant in your heads. We don't have to wait to be told to be active. We don't have to wait to a date on an event calendar on Facebook. Stop allowing yourselves to be controlled and take control of yourself for yourself. Take control of that anger and that rage and that disgust that you have, that I have, for all the things that we are being forced to swallow. Stand up. Stand up. It is your duty. It is our right. It is our mission. It is our rally cry. We, the people, have the power, and no longer will we be afraid. No longer will we be silent, and no longer will we live in denial of that fact. I'll be back in just a few minutes. This is Daniel Spariglio of Voice of the People USA Radio, coming to you live on Spreaker. Follow us at Voice of the People USA Radio on Facebook. Please feel free to hit the little like button on there and join us on the liberal-dominated and controlled Facebook, and continue to be another non-conforming American doing something that really pisses Facebook off and showing an interest in these views expressed. Because believe me, they hate me, and I'm sure they hate you as well. So, join us on Facebook, and as always, if you're listening on Spreaker right now, make sure to follow us on Spreaker. You'll get little email updates saying when I'm live doing one of these things, so you can look at it and cringe and say, God, do I really want to listen? Oh my God, why won't it just go away? You are welcome. You are welcome. It is my pleasure to put that feeling of disgust every time you see an email and says that I'm live right now. Believe me, I had to listen to that intro commercial, and listening to my voice still pains me to this day. Nevertheless, with that, the first 30 minutes of my podcast, well, after, of course, the excessively long intro, I was rather mundane. I was more boring than usual, and I felt it necessary to speak to you like that because I didn't know any other way to say what I needed to say. And I could sit here and pinpoint and talk about one issue or another issue or another issue, another issue, and go back and forth and back and forth, and talking points. Rather, I just want to talk. I just want to say what's on my mind and throw it out there for your consumption. Whether you agree or disagree, that is your prerogative. I'm not trying to make a believer out of you. I'm trying to make you believe in yourselves. I'm trying to make you all believe that there's something more worth fighting for, and there's something more that we can do as a people, as one entity, to combat what's going on right now in this country. And I believe that people listen to this podcast, listen to this radio show, they get it. You all get it. Regardless of your feelings towards me, you know it to be true, whatever the case may be. So, all right, last podcast. I mean, I had that little mini thing that was a preview of the next one, and of course that didn't happen. Well, what can I say? You know, life, work, life, things happen. That was my point in the beginning. But you still find the time. You find the way to get back to what you love. And yes, I love staring at this computer screen talking to whomever is out there listening, because it makes me feel better. And received a lot of emails off the last long podcast I did, the return one, part 1. And there is a part 2 to that, believe it or not. I wasn't just blowing smoke this time. There really is a part 2, and that's going to air tomorrow night, because I do have a lot of those specific issues and those talking points, if you will, that I do need to go off on. But of course, I promise you, I won't bore you with the usual, because, you know, I always bring a dose of loudness and anger to most of the things that I do. So with that, I want to address some of the emails and comments received off of the last one. Now, first off, the last podcast had many unique listeners and a lot of new people checking out this show. We had a lot of people live listening, which is always surprising to me. And as always, I'm grateful. And, you know, to the new people that have checked out this podcast for the first time, if you listen to past episodes, you'll see that, well, I'm not exactly sane all the time. I tend to get a little passionate, but you know what? I get passionate because I think these issues are worth getting passionate about. So forgive me. This is what I do. And to the unique listeners, to the new listeners, if you will, I thank you for, even if it was just a one-time deal, I thank you for trying it out, for listening, and for all those who sent emails, and there were a lot. I received 431 emails. Not bad, huh? 431 emails. As always, America Rising again. It's long, I know. There was an America Rising, but Facebook got rid of that. So there's a new America Rising on Facebook, of course. Send me a friend request. Or Daniel Smeriglio, Smeriglio. Send me a friend request there as well. And America Rising again at gmail.com or Voice of the People USA Radio. I know that's easier, at gmail.com. And we received a lot of feedback on the topics I discussed. And something that I touched on that day was racism. I went off on that, and I got a little elaborate with that, and I put some thoughts and opinions out there, and needless to say, it was apparently received well. Not that I would care if it received poorly. I'd be lying if I said that I did. And like I sit there and cry, somebody don't like me. But I thank you all for the positive feedback, and I appreciate that. Even those who said that they don't subscribe to my political beliefs, they appreciated that I finally elaborated on my thoughts on that. So let me just state that forthcoming in the days ahead, that I am going to do another podcast specifically dedicated to the matter and issue of race, and yet again pulling the race card away from those little wiry schmucks that have no intelligent debate. They got to label you one name, one term, and try to dominate and control you. So there will be a specific podcast for that, because there's more I want to say, and I feel that people need to hear it. And please believe I'm not trying to do damage control, because I've been called an evil, vile. I've been called everything from a Black Panther to a white supremacist to a Nazi to a member of the JDL and everything else. So I've been called everything and anything. It's all kind of hilarious to me. But if I wanted to save face and try to correct my public image, if you will, I would have done that 6 years ago. So I'm putting out my thoughts and my beliefs and my feelings because I just want you to hear them. And I don't want there to be any questions as to where I stand and what I think and how I feel. So just hope you know that. As always, if somebody is listening live, feel free to hit that little green chat thingy if you want to say hi and check in. And every now and then, I like to give shout-outs to certain people because it's fun for me. So let me give a shout-out to Aaron Bruno, because I believe he's actually one of the people that are listening live. I see that I have people listening live. That's kind of scary. But kudos to you, Aaron. I appreciate you putting up with me. Hello, and joining in the chat. Nevertheless, things facing us. Upcoming is the Senate hearing or whatever it is on the immigration reform bill. And needless to say, I touch on this all the time because I just can't seem to get away from it. But let me say this, all right? The Democrats are proposing amnesty for illegals, okay? I always go back to this, but it needs to be addressed over and over and over and over again because we do not hear it addressed enough, all right? So Democrats want to give amnesty to the illegal aliens, and the Republicans have said, hell no, you can't do that. You can't do that. Because Republicans, they have their own solution. They have their own bill, and they're going to fix the illegal alien problem in this country on their own. Yes, everybody's favorite hero, Marco Rubio, that wonderful, wonderful man, he has a bill to counter the Democrats' amnesty. Yes, you know what it is? If you've listened before, you know, or if you don't have your head inserted up here, you know where, you have been paying attention and you see something's wrong. Yes, Republican amnesty. You see, it sounds better if the Republicans say, we're going to do immigration reform. Why does it sound better? Because it's not the Democrats' immigration reform. End result, Democrat bill, amnesty for illegals. End result, Republicans bill, amnesty for illegals. Oh, but that's okay. They only want to give it to those that have been in the country for 20 years or more that have raised a family. Let me say this, because if I don't throw something out there that gets my haters going, then I've really let everybody down. Okay? Let me say this. If you've been in this country for 20, 30, 40, 50 years and you're an illegal and you have kids, grandkids, mother, father, whatever, and they're all in this country, if you're here legally, I say, pick up your little bastard anchor babies, take your decrepit family, and get the hell out of this country, because you don't belong here. You are criminals, you are scumbags, and you do not contribute to society. Rather, you desecrate society, you slap us in the face, you bleed us dry, and personally, my own opinion, you make me sick. I don't pity you, I don't feel sorry for you, and I don't believe just because you've been here and you've hid long enough. Not that a lot hide. Hell, they hold signs up at their rallies. Illegal and proud. Get them! Anyway, you don't deserve to be rewarded because you've hid longer than everybody else. Okay? You don't impress me. You don't warrant my liking. Just because you're one of them. I have a family. I pay taxes. Do you? Under what name? Under what identity? How do you pay taxes? I'd like to know. But yet again, illegals are good people. They're good people. It's just us evil, evil assholes that go and we call them names. We call them something they're not. Again, facts hurt, all right? 9/11, one day, 3,000 lives taken, all right? Since 9/11, the United States of America, over 46,000 citizens have been murdered. Murdered. Majority raped, murdered, assaulted, beaten, then killed and tortured and beheaded and kidnapped and tortured and, all the other crap. That many people have been murdered by illegal aliens in this country since 9/11. Yes, we have lost more people in this country at the hands of illegals than we have in both wars. Amazing, isn't it? But yes, tell me another story how an illegal deserves the right to stay or the option to stay. Oh, or I know, they'll pay back taxes and a fine. Yeah, because all is right with the world then, isn't it? Please, if you believe that and you're listening to this show, I strongly advise you, don't ever listen again. And please, don't ever come back, because I want nothing to do with you. And Marco Rubio, you, sir, are nothing more than a scumbag, hypocrite, illegal-loving bastard who sickens me. I loathe you and detest you. Not because of your nationality, not because you're Cuban, not because of this, what the little idiots like to say. You just attack him because you don't agree with his belief. You don't like him because he's Hispanic. If I didn't like him because he's Hispanic, then I wouldn't like my very own family, then I imagine, which I happen to love very much. So therefore, shove it. You're wrong, you're stupid, and you'll make any excuse to cover for somebody that's labeled as a Tea Party candidate. Yes, a Tea Party candidate. Marco Rubio. He was another active Tea Party person. Well, again, I'll make this a disclaimer, and if you hear that noise, that's me moving my headset because my head is way too big, and I do not have professional equipment. I just rock a little headset, and it probably looks kind of funny, but thank God you all can't see me. Anyway, so I'll laugh at myself for you. But nevertheless, Tea Party, Tea Party, Tea Party, Tea Party, where are you? Just wondering. Just curious. Tea Party activists, Tea Party supporters. Still, I say, always, I consider you all brothers and sisters in arms, and I support and I respect all of you. But for the leaders, again, you got your lobbyists in D.C., you have your little meetings with congressmen and senators, and you're going to change the world, you're going to stop Obamacare, but we didn't. I could use about probably 14 more examples, but I really don't want to. Nevertheless, Freedom Works, Americans for Prosperity, you all pop up when it's time for elections because you all need to make your money. And Freedom Works, you can all kiss my ass because you suck, you're a fraud, and you're worthless, okay? You've really done nothing. But hey, it was these groups, especially American for Prosperity, big shout out to the Koch brothers there. And I am not, for those who know, I am not one of those conspiracy type people. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm not one of those conspiracy type individuals. But I am somebody who's fully capable of doing research on my own because I have common sense. And I'm not one of these people that have been raised on, only social networking is my only source of reliable info, if you will. I know how to look at books. I know how to actually go on real news sites and dig deep and look into stuff. And I've learned enough about the Koch brothers, if you will, and their past and their history and their connections to Americans for Prosperity and their connections to Freedom Works and all their little offshoot groups. I've learned enough to know all that I need to know about them. And yeah, there's even a little documentary on Netflix. Didn't know that one until probably about a day or two ago. But hey, lo and behold, it's there. And, I got to question the sanity of anyone who tries to control a movement of the people, for the people, by the people. All right? Because you're openly throwing yourselves out there as nothing more than hypocritical, condescending scum. And you get rich off it. I assure you all, the campaign to defeat Barack Obama, remember that? Wait, time to light a cigarette. Yes! Smoke time. Anyway. The campaign to defeat Barack Obama. That was big in 2012. They're always out there sending their emails. Hell, they were big from 2010, 2009, 2008, all the way up. Raking in millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions of dollars, millions and millions and millions of dollars. I assure you, what would have... Wait, no. Let's go back. Do you really think that the campaign to defeat Barack Obama wanted to defeat Barack Obama? If they did, where would their paychecks have come from? Right? Think about that, folks. Think about that. But yet they're still around. They're still around, still taking money. Amazing, isn't it? People want to cash in on anger. People want to cash in on people's outrage. And that, to me, is one of the lowest and most disgusting and distasteful things somebody can do, a group can do. We take advantage of the people because we get taken advantage enough and get raped collectively every single day by our government, by our state government, that we really need groups out there to screw us in the end, to take from us, take from us to fight the powers that be. You know what? I cannot tell you enough. And this is somebody, I want to address one person. One person. I've spoken about him before for years. And no, I don't hate this person. I've worked with this person. I call this person a friend. I call this person somebody who is a mentor to me. Dan Amato of diggersrealm.com. Dan Amato, diggersrealm.com. That man, to me, is one of the very few last real Americans unafraid to say the truth, to speak the truth, or write the truth, whether he gets crucified for it or not. He doesn't care. He speaks his mind, and he puts facts out to back everything that he says and he states. And recently, he put a post up about all the groups that were around years ago to oppose amnesty against, amnesty for, the illegal alien crowd. And, he made some awesome, valid points about how all they did was make money. They took all this money and millions of dollars and activated it, and they sent their faxes and all those emails and make your phone calls and everything else. And, they took in all this money and they made all this money. And where are they now? Are they active like they were? No. Are they out with their campaigns and crusades? Not nearly as potent as they used to be. And the pisser is, years ago, we stood a good chance of beating amnesty, and we did. Now, we stand a snowball's chance in hell of beating amnesty, and where are they? Oh, they still want your money. Don't worry about that. But you think they would have taken some of that money, right? And believe me, I am referring to the post that Dan Amato put on his Facebook page, which I shared at America Rising and my own personal page, about how all these groups that took in all this money, you think that they would have taken some of that money and given it to the other groups that were actually actively fighting, those of us that were actually holding rallies and events and going state to state, city to city on our own dime. You think they would have given some of that money to help with press releases, to help with promotion, to help pay for the speakers and the podiums and the stages and the security and the insurance liability and the barricades, and pay for law enforcement. Yes, pay for law enforcement to come and protect the people at your event, and the millions and millions of other things that we have to pay for. But no, they didn't. Now, honestly, if they would have offered me money, I would have told them to stick it up their ass because I hate them all and I wouldn't want to touch their dirty money. But nevertheless, you think they would have at one point in time thought about maybe giving that money to those of us who actually go out there and fight. But did they? No, because they want to be the one and only source, the one and only solution, the one and only revenue taker, if you will, in the fight against illegal immigration. And they have failed. They have failed for over a decade. They have not accomplished a damned thing, but yet they still want your money. I'm speaking to you, FAIR. I'm speaking to you, Numbers USA. And there's many other groups out there. Many other groups out there. Watch who you give money to. Watch what you get involved with, because I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, there's somebody else out there right now probably doing a podcast just like me that's telling you this whole line of BS, that is sitting there and putting all these words out there and all these things to try to incite you, to try to get you aggravated, to try to get you angry enough, and then you're going to close out by saying, join us, go to our website, pay a one-time membership fee, give us a donation, we need your help. They're all out there. For those who know me know that I've gone broke doing what I do, and I'm cool with that. For those who don't know me, I'm not one of those people. I'm one of those people that still finds a way to get out there and hold rallies and hold events and fight against these injustices and fight against these assaults on our freedom and our sovereignty. And I do it without taking your money, without taking the hard-earned cash from all of you, because I don't think it's right. So, Dan Amato's post on Facebook, he referenced that they could have done more, yet they didn't. And because of that, we've had a decrease in activism over the past few years. He's very, very much correct with that. Very correct with that statement. There's a lot of groups that I've had the privilege and the honor of working with. You Don't Speak for Me. New York Ice. There's so many. There's honestly so many great groups out there of regular everyday people just like you and I, standing up and fighting for something and holding events and bringing awareness to what's actually going on. And they have all been fairly dormant. Or if they are active, you're not hearing about it because there's a blackout, The media doesn't cover it. Doesn't get the promotion in the press from all these big groups because, well, that's not enough. It doesn't help their end game. It doesn't make them money. They can't cash out, and that's a problem for them. They don't like that. So groups have folded. Let me assure you right now, okay? My last rally that we collectively held with so many great Americans from Arizona, all over this country, with Dan Amato, with Ruth Miller, with Mike Jacobson, with Brandy Barron, George Sprankle, Valerie Roller, so many other people. It was Phoenix Rising, 2010, Arizona, June 5th. And that was a tremendous event. And since then, I have done radio shows. I have done our radio show. We were on AM radio. We were off AM radio. We went online, did our radio shows, did these podcasts, and been involved in things locally, and that's about the extent of it. Why? I assure you, I am just as broke now as I was back then. I did it on purpose. I did it because I wanted to see what would happen. We laid dormant long enough. Not fully dormant, but laid dormant out of the national eye, the national scene, if you will. Because I got sick and tired of people coming in like vultures and trying to take over, if you will, trying to cash in on the events we were holding, because I feel that every single person that attends one of our rallies, that those individuals to me are like family. They're extended family to me. And if somebody comes and tries to take their money and tries to use them, manipulate them, and utilize them to their own gain, to their own financial needs, then I consider that a personal insult, and that sickens me, and I get quite angry. And I don't like that. And unfortunately, it reached its pinnacle then. It got so hot, and so many people were being swayed and being strayed away. And I didn't care if people didn't want to come and support Voice of the People. That didn't matter to me, because I don't do this. Like I've always said, one person or a million people, it doesn't matter. These are things that need to be said, events that need to happen, and a fight worth fighting. That is key, always. Never forget that. All right? So I'm quite comfortable in my own skin, if you will, as to why I do what I do and how I take it all in. But for other people who did sway, and they go and they follow this other group blindly, and they all get excited about this big event that never happens, yet they donated money to, and that person exposes a fraud. This one's exposed as a fraud. Alley pack, alley pack, alley pack. Scumbag fraud. All right? All these groups that want to raise money, take your money. I've seen what they do. I've seen how these people are. They hold rallies. They get hotel suites. They get presidential suites. They live high and mighty. They have 6 cell phones. They have 4 business cards. They go out and they charge everything. They charge their dinners. They charge their pornography. They charge some, sadly. They charge, well, we'll touch on that another time. But they charge lots of excessive behavior. They charge to the cards, which is funded by you. All of you who give them money go out and live like they are frickin' rock stars off of your dime. I remember seeing the FEC, the Federal Election Commission's financial disclosure for the Tea Party. I forgot which Tea Party Express, I believe, and their $40,000 dinners, or $40,000 worth of dinners in a week. There's $6,000 hotel accommodations, $100,000, $100,000 paid out to speakers to come in and say how they're just like you. They all have multiple cell phones. They all have multiple laptops. They all have different service providers. You got to pay for this because they work full time off of your money. They're being employed by you, and they're taking your cash, and they're using it on themselves, for themselves, and not providing any good to any of you. That, to me, is wrong. That is insulting, and that is a blatant freaking lie. Those are the actions. Those are the types of behaviors that I fight against, that we fight against, that we protest, yet they live that same lifestyle. They are hypocrites, they are frauds, and they are truly parasitic. So, going back to the amnesty and why we were dormant. Now, I stayed out of it because I wanted to see where and again, saying I stayed out of it is kind of wrong, because I didn't. I always stayed involved and I stayed connected, but I have to say this, and it's something that means the world to me, that people sending friend requests, sending emails, membership, that's free. I don't know if you call it membership, you don't pay for it. But people have been coming over in droves back to what we do, to the fan pages, to the Facebook sites. The emails have quadrupled, tenfold. I mean, people are coming back, if you will, or finding that what we do here, our little thing, is more geared towards their train of thought and how they feel. And they feel like they've been betrayed and they've been used, they've been manipulated. And I am most grateful for that. I really am. And it means everything to me, because, again, I would do this stuff alone, but it helps going out there and holding an event and actually having thousands of people in attendance. So that means a hell of a lot to me and everybody else that I'm involved with. So it's nice to not be alone. And I don't know. It's hard to explain the absence from the scene, because I saw a while ago For those long-time listeners that go back to 2009, 2010, 2011, you know that I put out a lot of strong viewpoints and I got a lot of strong criticism because of it, against me, condemning me, negativity, and people telling me to go to hell, and how dare I speak ill of this and speak ill of that. But sadly, I didn't want to be right. Hell, I was hoping I was wrong. But unfortunately, what I said then came to fruition. I said that certain groups are going to use your anger and your resentment and the rage and the atmosphere, if you will, of civil unrest, I guess you could call it. They're going to use it to their own gain, to their own end, and get their own people elected, and nothing's going to change. If anything, it'll get worse. 2010, what happened? The new Congress got elected. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's actually worse. And it's hard to say that and hard to admit that, but it's true. And I'm not the type of person to say that I told you so, because I don't look at that as a yay me victory. No, it's a sad truth. It's a sad reality. I mean, again, this Congress has a lower approval rating than the previous Congress, and that's sad. 2012, same deal. More of the same got elected, more promises made, nothing delivered. This son of a bitch in the White House has been running rampant, has been going crazy with all the things he's doing, the civil liberties he's infringing upon, your privacy, your freedom, your everything. He is exposing. He is, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't even think of the word I'm looking for, but this government is just beyond out of control. It is doing things that has got to be the worst I've ever seen. People want to talk about the Patriot Act. Hell, this goes long and beyond. It's scary, ladies and gentlemen. It's truly scary. So, now I decided that it's time to go back and have more rallies and to do what we do, because I think there's a void. There is a lapse there. And I don't want to see these other assholes basically coming along and steering you all in the wrong direction again. For those who want to come and be a part of something, you're not simply a follower. You're not simply an attendee. You are a part of what we do. And I cannot express that enough, that all of you are a part of it with us. For those people who want to come, I mean, I want to give you something to come to. I want to give you an event to be a part of. I want to give you a chance to be heard, and that's why I feel that this is the right time to do what needs to be done. The America Rising initiative that I speak of is the next phase, the next chapter. America Rising was supposed to start after Phoenix Rising, but I decided to hold off, build up, and we have. And the America Rising initiative is something bigger than what we have done previously. What we did before, it matters and it counts and it's all relevant, but the America Rising initiative is something bigger than that. It's about bringing everyone in every issue to light, bringing everyone together, standing up as one. That's my belief. And you don't have to pay for it. You don't have to pay to be there. You don't have to donate to anything. All you have to do is show up and want to be heard. And that, to me, is the essential way that it should be done, that it needs to be done, that people won't feel as if they're getting taken advantage of. That's why we're coming back now. Voice of the People USA, America Rising. That is why we're doing what we're doing now. And I know this podcast is tremendously monotone. And I promise you, for those who are still listening, I don't know. I think there's still people listening, actually. That's still frightening to me. And for everybody that is, know that tomorrow night's podcast is going to be loud. It's going to be abrasive. It's going to be me back to my normal form. But I wanted to put this out there, this whole podcast. I wanted to put these things out there so you just have a little bit of insight into my train of thought, where I'm at, where we're going, and what we're doing. And I hope you can understand that. But what else? You know what else? I'm going to spare you all me just excessively going on and on and on and on and on. I'm going to take a very quick final break. When I come back, I'm going to throw some final thoughts out there. And then be ready, Because I promise you, tomorrow night's podcast, it's going to be loud, and I probably will lose my voice, but it's going to cover a lot. And I know that I really only addressed the illegal immigration issue because I always address that every episode, and I don't need people to tell me that either, because I do it because it needs to be addressed. And the next one, though, is going to cover a lot more in depth, and you're going to hear me, like you usually hear me, quite pissed off and quite loud. And I apologize in advance for the screaming. So with that, a quick couple-minute break, and then nothing but a closing and final thoughts. This is Voice of the People USA Radio on Spreaker. This is Daniel Smariglio, and this is my late night rant, if you will, on Spreaker, and I'll be back shortly.
Because I don't feel this. Sick and tired and it's all the same. Too much different day, all day, every day. Wish you were perfect. Well, welcome to your 15 minutes of fame. Come get it, well, it's how you want it. We got it, come get it now. Can you feel me now? Tell me how I'm supposed to feel for you. When all you do is hold me down. Told me I'm nothing. Tell me what you're thinking now. So you wanna turn me inside out. Should I let you in or spit you out? Can you feel me? Can you feel me? Can you feel me? Can you feel me now? Can you feel me? Can you feel me? Can you feel me? Can you feel me? How am I supposed to feel? Because I can't feel this. Hollow down, you wonder why. Too much, not enough. Slow down, pick it up. Genuine adrenaline, giving me high, so why, so why? So talk your talk, walk your walk. But as far as I can see, on the inside out, you're about as ugly as me. So now I'm fit to knock you down. Told me I'm nothing. Tell me what you're thinking now. Come back on. So you wanna turn me inside out? Should I let you in or spit you out? Can you feel me? 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 Can you feel me now?
Yes, more loud music. You gotta love the loud music. You know, it makes me happy. You know, I for those listening right now, again, especially those on East Coast, Aaron, I gotta say that, you know, it's after 5 o'clock in the morning, and here we are. Something's wrong with you, just like me. So, thank you. Anyway, I just said, and I mean it when I say it, that tomorrow night's podcast, I truly am, and I don't know a nice way of really putting this, I am going to explode. I am going to let out a lot, and I'm going to go off in a way that I haven't, well, kind of 2 weeks ago, but it's been a little bit. It's a lot of pent-up anger and frustration, and again, this is my healthy way of letting it out, but, you know, nevertheless, I ask you to please check it out. And you know, I can't give a time, of course, that it's going to air. It'll probably be sometime like tonight, because that's kind of just how I tend to roll. And I want to give an update, you know, but before that, again, just if you're up and you see it and you want to hear something really crazy and really loud and really, really opinionated at this time of night or the morning or whatever you want to call it, then I ask you all to please tune in and listen to me go off like a raging lunatic, because it's what I do. But an update. Thanks to I won't give names yet, but thanks to a very good individual helping us and many other people helping us, I am very excited to say that actual website is forthcoming, and it's coming a lot sooner than you think. And I'm excited about that. I really, really am, because again, I don't have the thousands of dollars to spend to pay somebody to do it professionally, because, well, you know, hey, I'm broke. But at the same time, there are people out there that believe in what we do and want to help, and you know, that means the world to me. And I'm excited about the opportunity that the website, when that is coming. Oh my God. Yeah, I could speak good. Anyway, when the website returns, when the website is up, active, and running, then finally come to realization, come to, you know, reality, Voice of the People USA Radio Network. Yes, an actual network dedicated to those who want to have their own shows, our radio shows, these podcasts, anything and everything. It's finally coming. A new way for you to listen to my bloviating ass and my friends' bloviating asses and everybody else. Because I believe that we need an alternative to what's out there now. And I also believe that we don't need to take people to the cleaners every single time we want them to do something to express themselves and get rich off of their ambition and their perseverance. I respect that, and I appreciate that there's other people out there that also want to be heard and want to actually put their thoughts out there. So I say, let's give them the opportunity to do so, and it's coming. It's really, truly coming. And the calls are being made this week, and everything is being set up, and the first, in a while anyway, Voice of the People USA radio show, unfortunately, and hopefully not for much longer on Blog Talk Radio, will be back, I'm anticipating, by next week. And obviously, you'll all see it. I'll update you all, and we'll be ready to go. I, right now, have 2 guests tentatively lined up for a couple dates, so if that is the case, then I'll be announcing very soon. But with that show, of course, will be the live call-in number, toll-free, the interactive chat room forum thingy. There'll be co-hosts with me. You can call in, be heard. You could tell me I'm an ass. Tell me your opinions. Let everybody else hear you. It is a great format. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking it. But I still want to do our own thing, and it is coming. So for those who have asked about it, I ask you all to please just be a very little teeny bit more patient, because it's coming. It's really, truly coming. Other than that, I said I'm going to keep this short, but, well, you know, I lie. If you see another episode posted in Daily Thoughts and Rants, and it seems a little odd and out of place, that's because I'm thinking about recording an outro. So if that should get posted, I apologize in advance, because that'll be something that I'm going to use for the end of the shows, and it won't be as long as the beginning. And if that is posted, hey, check it out, have a laugh, offer your feedback. I always like to hear from you. Again, on Spreaker, Spreaker.com/VOPUSA Radio. Please, at least somebody likes it. Please feel free to follow us on Spreaker And as always, leave your comments, submit questions or whatever on the wall on Spreaker. And again, shameful self-promotion, America Rising on Facebook. And of course, on Facebook, the fan page, Voice of the People USA Radio, Voice of the People USA Radio. Put it in a little search box. You'll be flagged by Facebook, and NSA will be spying on you after that fact. But regardless, you could find our fan page. You could interact with everybody else. Click that little like button, and you'll be up to date and follow every single thing we do. And there is a mailing list coming, ladies and gentlemen, an actual mailing list that you'll be able to subscribe to on the website for free and actually stay up to date on everything else. It will be cool. And as far as the rallies go, well, let's just say permits have finally been negotiated, and of course, expensive, but I'm used to that because I always get screwed by these little pricks that want to make money off of it. They hate what we do, but damned if they don't want to get rich off of it. So, permits have been obtained, purchased, everything's good. So, when that radio show debuts, or re-debuts, if you will, we're going to make the announcement of the dates, times, locations of our first 3 return rallies. And of course, when I do this, and the reason why I do this, people, is because 3 hours in the beginning of the week and 3 hours at the end of the week on a radio show, for me, it's not enough. I always have more to say. Believe me, ask those who know me, ask my coworkers, I never shut up. Never. So I do these podcasts as a way to just throw my thoughts out there and put my opinions out there just to make myself feel better and have a further opportunity to speak to all of you. And that to me is very meaningful. So, hey, if I'm an ass because I actually like engaging all of you and I'm grateful for all of you, then I'm forever an ass. So that's why there's these podcasts. So the podcast will continue, and obviously after we make the announcement on the actual radio show, I will also make the announcement on the podcast, and everybody will know, and hopefully all of you will find your own way to be involved and will join us. And I promise you, you won't have to travel across the country last minute on a bus to be a part of it, because I think that that's a prick move. Sorry, that's just me. So, with that, tomorrow, please know that I am going to do a very special podcast, and that will be part 2 of the pissed off and have a lot to say thing, you know? That will be the part 2, and I promise you it will be entertaining, and at the very least, even if you don't like me, you can tune in and get a good laugh, you know? That's your prerogative as well, but it will be magical. I'm getting my voice ready now. So, with that, for those who have been listening live, it says there's 61. I say, God bless you all, and thank you. And I don't know how you stayed on all this time. To the one that I know, Aaron, thank you, sir. I appreciate you staying online and listening. Again, this podcast was a little bit different, but I hope that you could take some points and take some feelings from it and at least understand what I'm saying and the reasons behind why I'm saying it. So with that, I am going to finally shut up. Email me, voiceofthepeopleusa@gmail.com, America Rising again @gmail.com, Facebook, Voice of the People USA Radio fan page. Hit the like button. Join us. Send us a friend request, America Rising, Voice of the People USA Radio, all on Facebook as well. I see I have too many accounts, too many things. I even forget them all. Eventually, I'm just going to post them all up so you could all see it and just hyperlink and just go and get right to it and make it a lot easier. Then you won't have to listen to me. And with that, I say good night, good morning. As always, it has been an honor to speak with all of you. And this is my therapy. I'm going to leave you with a song by Disturbed titled Indestructible. And I like that song because all of us together as one, fighting for one common goal to save our country, we are indestructible. And we cannot be held down, held back, silenced, or told to shut up any longer, because we will have the final say, because we the people are the one and only true power source in this nation. Power source? Did that even work? I don't even know if that made sense. We have the power. We have the final say, and it's time to get back to our roots, the roots of our Constitution, and it's time to fight again. It's time to unite. It's time to do what we do, and I promise you it will be worth it, because we have a country to save, people. We have our rights to save, and we have a future that is worth fighting for. As long as you believe it and you feel it, I say, stand with me. Stand with all of us. Stand together, and let's go. Power source, Aaron. Power source. I'm speaking to the chat room. Sorry for those who are listening and wonder who I'm actually referring to. Aaron's in the chat room. Tomorrow night, remember, that little green bubble on the side. If you want to send me messages or talk, I'm not that chatty, if you will, in the chat room, because I'm usually screaming and throwing my hands around, but I will acknowledge you, and I will answer what you ask, and I will reference what you say, because that's what I do. With that, good night. God bless you all. God bless America. As always, this is Dan Smirglio, Voice of the People USA, Voice of the People USA Radio, and America Rising. I am signing off and leaving you now with Disturbed's Indestructible. I will see you tomorrow night for part 2, aka the really, really, really loud ass podcast, where I am going to flip out and tear down shit like never before. Oh, by the way, explicit content. Thank you all.